Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. This is the TAFA chart analysis for December 17th, 2021. We look at the chart and yes, it is, like we said before, it is looking a lot like the lull we actually had in May and July. Now, I don't think it's going to last as long because once again, we don't have the Chinese miner kick out. However, we don't really know what's going on with Omicron, and that's actually what's basically continuing this drop. We are kind of mirroring the stock market right now, but I don't think we're going to be hurt as much as the stock market. Remember, the whole virus thing was actually pretty good for Bitcoin last time, and crypto should actually start to rebound. But the virus does have people worried that the economy is weak, and essentially they lessen consumer confidence, so they may not want to invest quite as much. So that's why we're seeing a lull right now. I plan for this to kind of like keep going slightly down for at least a few weeks. Like I said before, bottoming at around 43,000 or so, and after that we'll probably surge back up. What I hear about the new variant is that it's less deadly than the former variant, but much more contagious. Eventually, it'll just be like a flu to society, and we'll actually get over all of this stuff. So right now, I don't think that's going to take that long with this variant. And even though they're basically like getting strict kind of like restrictions back in place, I don't think it'll last that long. And also, like, people are probably just going to get tired of it sooner or later. And I think that's what's actually going to bring the market back up once everything truly starts opening up again. This summer we went up because, things started to loosen up. Then with Omicron, Delta, and all that stuff, we clamped down a little bit again. But it's not like the initial wave of the pandemic. Things are actually open. You can eat inside in some restaurants and stuff like that. And yeah, the masks are still there, but people are actually getting out. I don't think it'll be quite as bad as the first part of 2020, obviously. And like I said, I don't think the lull is going to last quite as long as mid-year this year. I think it's going to last maybe a month. And after the new year, I think we're going to start anew and crypto will actually start going up. That's what I see with that right there. In terms of the technicals, for the daily, it's basically neutral. The RSI, the stochastic, and the commodity channel index is fairly neutral. The commodity channel index is actually bordering on oversold at -99, just has to go to -100 to be oversold. The average directional index continues to build in terms of like strength. I don't think it's really that strong yet. And it is kind of like tapering in terms of building and strength because we have been going back and forth. It's not really that strong. I don't really see a trend here. Therefore, like, I am neutral on buying and selling on the daily. Moving averages, obviously, it's completely all sell. We're at 46,000, which means we are actually below all the EMAs and SMAs, all the way down to basically 200. So every single moving averages indicator is actually a sell. Now the EMA is greater than the SMA for the 10 days, which means weighted towards the current, you basically have some bullish momentum. But I do think like the Omicron report today actually kind of wiped that out as well. But everything else is essentially negative. We're below both the SMA and the EMA for the 200, so it's looking very, very negative on the daily. I wouldn't really buy anything until like maybe next year. 1 week, still kind of like bearish on the weekly. The commodity channel index, the average directional index does not point to a direction. The commodity channel index is -71, stochastic 30, relative strength index 42. All pretty neutral, not much to go on right there. But we're below the EMAs and the SMAs for the 10, 20, and 30 now. All the 30 says sell. We have to go to the 50, which is almost a year back before we get to any kind of buy. And I think that's way, way too far back. So right now on the weekly, once again, the next 2 weeks, probably not a good direction. If we see some turnaround towards the end of the year or beginning of next year, that's probably the time to try to get in right now. Not right now, because I do believe that we're probably either going to be neutral or maybe even selling off for the next couple of weeks, according to all the technicals. If you go to the 1 month, we're obviously still positive and bullish because you only really look at the 10 months. Yes, we're below the SMA, but we're still above the EMA. But although the EMA is less than the SMA, so overall, I would say that's like pretty much neutral for the moving averages. I don't really look at the 20, 30, 40, 50 on the month because that's like going multiple years back. And that's unless you have a multi-year bull market or a multi-year bear market, it's not going to change. And we haven't had one of those in quite a while. We're going like on a 3 to 6 month cycle right now, and I don't think those are actually good to look at. So the 10-month is all I would look at, and it's kind of giving me a mixed signal right now. RSI, stochastic, a commodity channel index, all fairly neutral, and the average directional index not that strong for the monthly. So that's all neutral. I would say like even on the monthly for the rest of this month, maybe into like early next month, I would stay neutral on it. I don't know if I would buy anything, but as we get stronger into the new year, look to see how this Omicron thing is actually working out, if there's any new variants, and if people are actually settling down from the news of this variant, because that's going to affect the entire market, and affecting the entire market obviously is going to affect Bitcoin. And that's really like the main fundamental thing right now. The main fundamental you need to actually look at. Yes, the comments by Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen are actually bullish for crypto. But the thing you need to look at is overall consumer confidence on the market. And overall consumer confidence on the market is not very good right now due to the pandemic, obviously. People think that it's going to last a while. The new variant's coming. It's more infectious. Older people, of course, are afraid of it. So, things are going to stay tight for a while. How tight? I'm not really sure. I do think it'll blow over by next month or in February. So I think February, like January, February transition or late January would be a pretty good time to actually buy in, because that's when a lot of the projects are actually launching as well. Once again, like metaverses, I think like the Cardano projects are going to be pretty good, and some of the DeFi is going to get hot again. Maybe like in January sometime. So look out for that. I don't expect a lot of action for the end of the year, but maybe they'll surprise us with a Santa rally. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.